Good morning, everybody. Welcome to HRD 633, Leadership in Adult and Higher Education. Looking at the class schedule and class list, it looks like everybody in this class very familiar to me. So I want to welcome everybody to the class. If you are new to the Adult and Higher Ed program and you're just getting into the program, I want to welcome you to the program and or the course. This is a fabulous course, and it is becoming one of my favorite courses to teach in the Adult and Higher Ed program, and I hope you find it the same way. So in this course, or in this video, what I'm going to do is just show you a few of the nuts and bolts. I realize that almost everybody, I think everybody in this class has taken a course at USM and or one or two with me previously, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the nuts and bolts of Brightspace, where you find things, or even my style, but rest assured there's plenty of time to ease into this week, and there's plenty of time for questions. Before I go any further, I'd just like to mention next week, not this week, but next week in week number 2, we will be having an optional Zoom meeting. More information on that will come out this week, so you'll have plenty of time. It will be in the evening, and it will be on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday of next week. So that's enough with the kind of formalities. Now let me get right to the materials. So the first thing is, please take a look at the syllabus for this course. It's very similar to all of the syllabi that I use for other courses. One thing that you will find is that, for those that don't know, this is me. This is, I'm the assistant professor of adult and higher education, also the program coordinator, and probably the advisor for everybody in this class. So if you need me, you know how to reach me. This is my personal home cell number. If you really need me, call me, leave a message, but please leave a message, because as like a lot of us do, I get unwanted calls, and if you don't leave a message, it oftentimes goes someplace that I won't even see it. So syllabus is very similar to what you're used to: required books, purpose, to analyze, really the course description. We're going to be taking a look at all aspects of leadership, and it could be adult and higher ed, it could be in the business world. I've over my career, I've been in the corporate world. I used to work for Stanley Tools, and probably the most people I ever had working for me was when I was a manufacturing manager, where I had 80 people working for me in one of the plants. I had 5 direct reports, and the other ones were, I was the head of a pretty large department. I did that in 3 different manufacturing plants. I know the corporate culture. I know the state culture as a natural science educator for the state, and I ran and coordinated all of our basically outreach and education programs for the Maine Forest Service and other agencies when it was at the state. So you might not even think that you've been in a position of either leadership or management, but this course is all about leadership, but I bet you have. Maybe your definition is small at this point. So take a look at the syllabus for the course, and once again, if there's anything that you see in here that doesn't quite work, let me know. I am not perfect in every materials that I put on here. I do check all of the links on my computer, but if I've taught the course before, what I found is sometimes I have the materials loaded on my computer and the link will work, but it might not work for you. So let me know if something doesn't work properly. So as you can see, module number 1. First module, and I will say one thing, the first part of the class we do is the heavy side of the reading that we do. And So just bear with it, get through the materials. You're all seasoned students at this point, so you probably know you don't have to read everything verbatim, but you get pretty good at skimming being a grad student. Beginning of the course, and there's some suggestions in here. They're up to you. Take a look at the syllabus, print out whatever you want. I left this in here. This is Emily McRobbie taught this course, I think back in 2021, and she said in preparing this course it took me 2 to 3 hours to complete the readings each week. You may be totally different than that. It may take you a week, an hour, hour and a half, but I just kept that in there for somebody that might be new to this program. It does, there's extensive reading, but once again, I don't expect that you will read every line verbatim, and once again, you get pretty good at skimming. We move through the books. Books are insightful. So let's get to what I'd like everybody to do. And there's more detail on this, but week number 1, organizations, introductions. I'd like you to do an online introduction. Sign up for an online discussion facilitated. So once we have the group set up, and I did post something, I'll show you where that is. This is not a major assignment, nor are you going to be graded on it. Really what it is, in week number 1, we have an overall group discussion. In weeks 2 through 7, we go into groups. So it's a first come, first serve. You go on to the discussion page. You'll have 3 options where you can jump on group number 1, 2, or 3. And what I'm asking for is volunteers, 1 volunteer, 1 person per week, that will in effect summarize in a concise form what your group discussed. More information on that next week, but I'll show you where that is. So this is just a preview of kind of how we move through things in the first 7 weeks of the class. I'm going to use my handy arrows here to navigate to the next panel. Here's the overview video that you're taking a look at now. It's the one that you're going to be looking at is a little bit different because this one is from 2023, but I have to be able to post the new one. Introductions. So leadership, as I said, is a huge topic. We have readings this week, but a couple of the essential questions. What are your ideas about effective leadership? And I'll keep mine to myself. What is organizational culture, and how can we better understand organizations? Once again, these are huge, huge questions. Compare and contrast various leadership skills, organizational frameworks. These are the course outcomes. To do, look around. And, if you haven't already taken a look at the syllabus, do so. Take a look at getting started. Set up your calendar. These are individual. You can decide to do these. We're all adult learners. We're all adults. And even though I say set up your calendar, that might not work for you. You might have a better system than what I'm saying. Get your books. Great time. We're going to have an opportunity where you will be interviewing, you will be looking at things. And once again, there's a lot of links in here. I've checked them all out. They work. If you find they do not work on your computer, please send me an email. As I kid all the time, students are the best reflection of how I'm doing. And if I'm not doing well, they'll quickly say something's out of whack, and I appreciate that. I try the best that I can. But sometimes the links show up that they work fine, but they don't for you. Participate in your first introduction online discussion. Take a look at all the information in here. Once again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because we have seasoned professionals in the class. thinking ahead, I'd like you to at least take a look at, this is one of the things I'm going to be asking everybody to do, interview option, and there's, when I say option, what I mean is just that there's things that you can do, and you've skills brief information, that's something that you study on your own. So here's the first introduction to chapter 1 and 2 discussion. Please introduce yourself, share your experience, what questions do you have, and after reading chapter 3. So I say this discussion allowed you to, everybody can post. You don't have to wait until you post first before you can, in weeks 2 through 7, and it might just be in week 2, I'm going to change things up a little bit, and I'm going to want everybody to post your initial post before you can see the other people's post. So that is the discussion forums for this week. Quick to the next one. Week number 2. So we're not even getting to that point. I'm going to go back to this page, and as you can see, I have all the material set up here. This is for weeks coming up, but I don't release things on beforehand. I'm going to go to just show you kind of, if you need something, you're traveling, you need some help for something, please let me know. And I need to move this up. People can see it. So this is where the sign up is. Bear with me while I get there. Week 6. 5. So all of the materials are here. I tweak them, and I'm constantly moving them around because it really, you know, even though the syllabus is posted and I try to keep to the syllabus, as you know, sometimes I push an assignment out. I don't ever make it closer. So once again, here's the discussion forum for the week. Sign up to provide group discussion. This is where I'll show you what's involved here. Here's the link, but when you hit the link, it will populate the site. So in weeks number 2, we have group 1, group 2, group 3, and I'm looking for a volunteer for each number of week. So just say, you don't know what your groups are at this point. So if you come in here, you don't know your group, sign up for group number 1, and then the option that you have in week 2, you'll come in there, you'll say sign up for a group. If you'll just sign up for group number 1, 2, or 3. So don't worry about if you come in here and, you know, I say, oh, I want to be a volunteer and be able to summarize. I'll put my name down for 1, next person here, next person for group 3. Any questions on that, let me know. Okay, so that is really it for me. I want to thank everybody for being in this class. We have a pretty great group of students, and we have a full class. This is going to be a really interesting class. Get familiar with the site, and next week we will get into more detail, and we will have an optional Zoom meeting. And for those that can't make it, don't worry, I post them, and for those that can make it, that's great. That's usually how the agenda is set for the optional Zoom meetings. But it's a great opportunity for us to get to know each other and also discuss any ideas that we want to kind of in a live setting. So that's it for me. Sorry, it is close to 15 minutes, this video. That's an eternity. But the good thing is my videos are recorded using YouTube, or they end up on YouTube. You can hit 1.5, 2.0 speed. So welcome, everybody. I'm really happy that you are here, and I look forward to learning with you this semester. Let me know if you have any problems accessing the materials or you need any help. Bye, everybody.